What's going on, y'all? This is Jay from Jay's Life Out Loud, a channel about nothing, but it's about something. What I'm thinking about right now is this blackness. Y'all see this? I'm biggity black, y'all. I'm black all over, except the palm of my hands and the bottom of my feet. Now, since I was younger, I've always had people make fun of my color. I've always been called black this and black that, and it is black and blah blah
If I had to be born all over again, I would ask the Lord to let me to be born blacker than what I am now. Because I really am proud of her, and I would not.
Some of it was out of love, me going back and forth with family members or friends or coworkers. Some of it was from the heart of a person that didn't like my skin complexion. And the funny thing is, I've never heard it from a white person. It's always been from my brothers and sisters, my folks, my black people. Now, don't get me wrong. When I was of a young age, it bothered me. And I even asked the Lord at one time, Lord, why would you make me this dark? And I asked him, I said, why would you give me this problem? And as I got older, I began to see people that had real problems. I began to see people that may have had one arm, kid that was a child hit by a car. I got to know people that had bad childhoods, had no mother, no father, came up in foster care, were beaten, abused, sexually abused. I met people that had different type of skin diseases, or I don't know if you had to say diseases, but they had different type of skin problems, whether it would be real bad acne covering their whole face, that they couldn't do nothing about. I mean, bad bumps, blisters. I've come across people that had vitiligo. I believe I said that right. And you get to see that, I've always heard of somebody worse than you, somebody dealing with something that's way worse than what you're dealing with. So at a certain age, I stopped crying about it. I stopped running to my mother about it. I stopped running to my grandmother about it. And I began to fight back. And then I learned that with the fighting back, it wasn't just physical. I had to learn how to use my words. So when we were growing up, it was called playing the dozens, capping on each other. It wasn't called capping like lying, like they use the word now. Capping was like, me talking about you. I was, um, playing the dozens. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And I got good at it. And I began to use this as a defense mechanism. And a lot of times it wasn't, harsh. Nobody meant any harm, but it was everybody joked with each other growing up, a lot of folks. And you had to have thick skin. Being a part of my family, you have to have thick skin because we all talk about each other. I mean, from the oldest to the youngest. And it's out of love. But there have been times in my life where I've had people that have said some very hurtful things, or they have chosen times, the wrong times, to say a certain thing to get a laugh on my account. So I learned how to be very sharp with my tongue. Um, so sharp sometimes that people are ready to fight, even though I didn't start it. I even have rules. I'll give you 3 for free. The rest gonna cost you. If we go deep into it, I would even say All right now. You making it no, you know, you can take the limits off of it. We're gonna talk about mamas, grandmamas, and everything. You ain't gonna like it. So stop while you ahead. And I still do the dozens, play around with coworkers. Me and my wife do our little thing. And it's, you know, me and my wife, it's nothing harsh. Sometimes at work we get harsh. I haven't had an incident yet. You know, I've had some people stop talking to me, even though they started. But I wasn't going there to say that. Where my point really was is that as I got older, I embraced my blackness. I embraced my wide nose. I embraced this purple, then this pink on my lip. It comes from my dad. He had it. And my father's gone, hopefully to be with the Lord. I can't say for sure, but I'm hoping one day I see him again. But this I get from my dad, and I love it because that will always be with me. So people say with your pink lip and this, I done had some, man, but I laugh it off because it's a part of me. This skin color, see how smooth my skin is? I can say that. I don't have to I put lotion on my skin, I break out. On my face, rather. And I love my blackness. And I remember ever so often growing up, there would be certain women, older women, that would stop me, or family members or neighbors that would stop me, and they would just tell me how beautiful my skin was. And then, in those times, I took it in, but at the same time, those moments were like stars at night, if you get what I'm saying. There was more dark, no pun intended, than there was light at those times. And, you know, I had a very supportive mother. My grandmother was dark skinned. My grandmother said they used to call her Black Moses when she was growing up. So you can understand, she knew what I was going through. And one time, I remember my grandmother asked me, she said, would you ever lighten your skin if you could? And I remember in my mind really like going over it real fast. And a way I wanted to say maybe, but what came out of my mouth, it was more like the Lord had touched me. And I said, no, the Lord made me this way, Granny. Why would I change what he did? Because, you know, in my mind, it was like the Bible says that the Lord created you in his image. And I know people say that nothing on earth is perfect. But how can, if God made you, and they say he made you in his image, why am I complaining? So now when people say with your black A or black whatever, I say, you know what? I wish I could be blacker. It's also funny that I did the video for my Ancestry DNA. And I'm not the one to go back and forth with people in the comments. If you make a rude comment, you say something smart, something slick, I report you and I delete you and let YouTube handle it. I'm not about to go argue. As much as I want to sometimes, I'm not going to argue with you. So the person left a comment, a long paragraph, and it was sounded so angry. And the person was like, well, you only did your maternal side. You didn't do your paternal side. You would be so upset if the other side was white and this and that. And it reminded me of a comedy skit I watched with Whoopi Goldberg years ago. And she talked about her mama, and Whoopi was talking about her problems with being dark skinned, how she, felt. And she said she filled the tub with bleach and sat in it. And her mama asked her, "What are you doing?" And she told her, "I want to lighten my skin." She said, "Girl, you can sit in that tub all day, and you ain't gonna be nothing but black." I remember, or to this day, my mother and sister are dark skinned. Not as dark as me, but they're dark skinned. Two beautiful women that I love very, very much. And they have an issue with men saying you're beautiful to be dark skinned or you're pretty to be dark skinned. As if dark skinned people are ugly and it's only exceptions to the rule. So I just wanted to say to anybody out there, be proud of who you are. Be proud of how God made you, because He only made one of you. And I know for those that watch the channel, you've probably heard this a million times. I don't care if you're light skinned, dark skinned, in the middle, white, chunky, fat, skinny, small. I don't care if you're walking upside down. You are beautiful. You are wonderfully made. Hold your head up and do the best you can out in this world.